Okay, we'll do one more skill, effective command. So till now, we're trying to just avoid commands in general. We're doing positive opposites, we're doing selective attention, we're doing forced choice. These are all things to just avoid even having to get in a power struggle with your kid. If all else fails, if they're just really being unsafe, they're about to run to the street, and you really just have to yell a command at them, these are the better ways to do it. So in your packet, you'll have 8 rules of commands. 8 rules of how to give effective commands. It's pretty, pretty exhaustive. We're only going to be working on one of them today, number 3. Okay, so we're going to do number 3, avoiding chain commands. So just to kind of give you a sense of how in depth this treatment really goes, it's the language here. Parents often say, like, does this really matter? Does it matter how much I talk? Does it matter what I say? Like, I feel like, just tell me, like what do I do? Like, how do I punish them? How do I get them to listen? Like, kind of like when a kid signs up for karate, you're like, just give me the nunchucks. I just want to do the fun stuff. Like, this stuff is really just changing how I talk. It sounds silly, but the one thing I can say to you is just try it out in your own life. Just try it for yourself. There's a ton of research that support it. I'll vouch for it, but just try it for yourself, and you'll see that if you could catch yourself and using the right skills, it will really work. In my other line of work, my other work in schools and working with kids, I could handle a room of 30 kids by myself. I don't need any co-counselors or staff. I could run a whole program just using these skills, and I'll just say, okay, it's time to play a game. When I train my group leaders who run the davening groups on Shabbos. I'll do a training with these skills, and then I'll show them how it works. I said, watch. I walk into a room of 30 kids playing basketball, throwing stuff, eating snacks, everything. I say, I'm going to get every single kid sitting right here on the floor listening to a story in 1 minute. I'm not going to say once to one kid, come sit and listen. Okay? And I sit in the chair, and I start telling a very exciting story. That's very important. So that you have to have an exciting story. And I say, once upon a time, there was an old Rebbe back in the shtetl, right? So then the good kids come on their own, and they come sit on the floor. So we have all those good, kids that we talked about, not the Mikeys, the other kids. So what do? Wow, great job coming to sit on the floor. You're going to hear this awesome story. It's going to be so fun and exciting. And with one eye, I'm looking here, and with the other eye, I'm looking at Mikey in the corner, still playing basketball, still not listening. And more kids come, and more kids come. I'm doing the same thing. I'm telling the story. I'm praising them, focusing on them. I'm waiting for Mikey to come, which comes 9 out of 10 times. He'll come. He'll kind of hover or look. I see Mikey's coming to join the circle. Hey, Mikey, give him some attention. I wait for him to kind of float near a seat. He'll sit down. I'll say, Mikey, thanks for sitting down. A circle in the middle of the story. It's really fun. And then that's how it works. So something like that. Never once did I say, please come sit. So again, it takes much less energy, much less work. So I'm trying to just take the stuff that I've learned and pass it on to you. So chain commands. So what we want to do is avoid giving a long list of behaviors in a row. Avoid saying one general phrase, which I'll give you an example of in a second, and try and break it down to its components of just what you actually want them to do step by step. So for kids with ADHD, this is very important. So if you're a teacher, instead of saying, please do these math problems, right? You'd want to say, please do questions 1 through 5, let's say, and tell me exactly, fill in the circles, for each question. But let's go to a common parenting situation. So you have this cute little boy, doing a screen time, watching a show, and it's getting late, it's time for bed. So you shout to him, Shmuley, get ready for bed, right? So what do you really mean when you say get ready for bed? Like what, like physically, literally, what do you want him to do?
Pajamas.
Right.
Brush his teeth.
Oh, okay, good. Wait, is it put pajamas, brush teeth, get off the computer, right? That has to happen first. So I might even say, look at me. I forgot what I put here. So that's a chain command. There comes the chain, meaning the rate of compliance is going to be way down for this. Less of a chance that he's going to listen. But I would say first close the game, right? I might even say, Shmuel, please look at me. Okay, thank you for looking. Turn off the game, right? And then I would say, go to your room, get up from your seat, then change into pajamas, meaning not all at once, one at a time. Once he's up and in the room, one other technique is the environment of like the proximity. I'm not going to get into the whole mathematical equation of like how close they are to the thing that you actually want them to do is important. But once you're in the room, change it to your PJs, then I would say brush your teeth, and then I would say get into bed. Okay, so he's going to be more likely to listen to each one at a time, especially if I praise him for it, than if I say get ready for bed. So what would typically happen is a parent would say get ready for bed, get ready for school, clean up, and the kid doesn't listen, he's dilly-dallying, you get frustrated, you start threatening, start yelling. But when you know this science, then you know that the chances were low to begin with. It's kind of like saying you bet on the lottery and you win the lottery, so and get frustrated. Well, these are the skills that are going to make it just better for everybody. It's better for Shmuel to listen. It's better for you as a parent. The only difference is just knowing to do it. It's just practicing it. That's the only real, these, just by show of hands. I don't think these are particularly hard or, things are difficult to kind of learn or pick up. Not everything, who are things like these are pretty like, on their level in terms of what something they could do.
I think they're all really simple, but I think the close the game might be the hardest.
Yeah.
Just knowing that is usually the trickiest of shifting gears
Right.
and transitioning. So maybe like giving a warning at that step. Or
That's true, right?
It just seems like today it's so hard to shift gears if kids are playing a game or watching TV.
Right. That's a great point. Yeah. So again, right. That's why I probably would change it. That's why in my head I was thinking, please look at me. If I would say, please pause the game, would be something that I would do first in today's day and age. And again, there are other skills that we could, rope in here, like, how to give a thread or how to, set up a system that they have to listen to you. And you're totally right about that this is probably the place where you're going to struggle the most. But my point is that this versus this is a difference I want to kind of start with, is that going to be hard no matter what. But if you just say get ready for bed, you're climbing a mountain. As opposed to be saying close the game, you're kind of doing it in a more manageable form.